You're listening to Civic Media. Stay up to date on the latest news and information for your local community and Wisconsin by signing up for our free email newsletter. Visit civicmedia.us/email to get started.
Civic Media News. I'm Terry Bell. Here's what Wisconsin needs to know. Vice presidential candidate Tim Walz campaigns in Wisconsin today with stops in Green Bay and Eau Claire. He tells Good Morning America why he's running.
I watched Donald Trump dismiss the COVID pandemic. I watched him drive an economy into the ground. And I watched Joe Biden and Kamala Harris pick those pieces up.
Senator Bernie Sanders is in Milwaukee after criticizing Donald Trump in Baraboo over the weekend.
We cannot elect somebody who is working overtime to undermine American democracy.
First Lady Jill Biden campaigns for Kamala Harris in Madison tonight. Harris herself will be in Milwaukee, La Crosse, and Green Bay on Thursday. Elon Musk's Political Action Committee has taken over a big share of Donald Trump's get-out-the-vote efforts in Wisconsin. Musk's America PAC is reportedly working with the far-right dark money group Turning Point Action. Their combined efforts are said to be focusing on people they've identified as Trump supporters who haven't voted recently. Wisconsin is second in the nation in the number of dam failures. That's according to the Wisconsin Policy Forum. It says 34 Wisconsin dams have failed since 2000. 28 of those 34 dams have failed since 2018. Only South Carolina does worse. The Policy Forum says it's a symptom of aging infrastructure and more rain due to climate change. Native American tribes in Wisconsin are bringing back growing and harvesting wild rice. Joe Gravine is a member of the Lac du Flambeau Band of Lake Superior, Chippewa in northern Wisconsin.
To see that abundance of rice that hasn't been there for 20 years, that smile on their face, the energy that they give off.
But tribes are concerned that climate change could threaten future crops. A man from Milwaukee is dead after getting shot at a youth flag football game Saturday afternoon. The man died after being rushed to the hospital. The person was arrested, but police let him go after they determined he was innocent. Milwaukee police say they're looking into how and why it happened. Meanwhile, city leaders are condemning the violence. I'm Terry Bell, Civic Media News. Now, here's what you need to know closer to home.
For WRCE News, I'm Joanne Krulotz. When transferring money online, whether it be to pay a bill, purchase an item, or to send money to an individual, many consumers use PayPal to make a safe and secure transaction. Because of its popularity, there are PayPal imposters trying to scam users of this transfer service. Scammers should not be able to access a PayPal account, but if it appears that they may have, action can be taken to make sure the account continues to be secure. Michelle Reinen with the Wisconsin Department of Agriculture, Trade, and Consumer Protection says that PayPal has associates to assist anyone that has been contacted by a PayPal imposter.
You'll want to be contacting that help center, which can be found on the official website, if you think that you have been receiving these questionable messages, or again, if you question something with your account.
You can contact AdCap's Consumer Protection Hotline at 1-800-422-7128. There currently is a vacancy in Supervisory District 6 of the Richland County Board of Supervisors. Those at least 18 years of age interested in being appointed as a county board supervisor from the vacant district can submit a letter of consideration to the county clerk by 4:30 Friday, October 25th. The letter should contain your name and address and a brief statement of qualifications to serve on the county board. The vacancy will be filled from the list of applicants at the first county board meeting after the expiration of the application deadline on Tuesday, November 19th at 7 in the Richland County Boardroom in the Richland County Courthouse. Submissions may be mailed to the Richland County Clerk, Post Office Box 310, Richland Center, or emailed to derek.kalish@co.richland.wi.us. That's Derek Kalish, DEREKKALISH. Richland County has the availability of grant funding to support prevention, treatment, and recovery related to the opioid epidemic. Nonprofit organizations, businesses, schools, and local government agencies located in and serving Richland County and its residents are eligible to apply. Funding can be requested by completing an application and submitting it to the attention of the Director of Richland County Health and Human Services by 4:30 October 28th. Applications will be reviewed at the Health and Community Services Committee meeting November 7th at 9:30. All applicants are required to be present at the meeting. A final review and approval by the Richland County Board of Supervisors will occur on December 10th. Questions regarding this grant opportunity may be directed to the HHS Director, Tricia Clements, at 608-649-5935. The Moral Lecture Series aims to foster community and a sense of connectedness with others. It's sometimes easy to lose that sense of connectedness, especially in an election year. To build that sense of connectedness, the Moral Lecture Series will sponsor programs involving the reading and listening to the stories of others. Sharing stories and building community in the local food system will be held Tuesday from 6:30 to 8 at the Spring Green Community Library. Explore the Wisconsin Science Festival theme of agriculture by examining the impact of telling the story of our local food producers on our food systems. The program will feature Jules Reynolds. She recently graduated from the University of Wisconsin with a joint PhD in Geography and Environmental Studies. Her community-based dissertation research built on a decade of experience working with farming communities and local food systems across the country and internationally. And that's what you need to know. I'm Joanne Krulotz.
The Packers cut the cards. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with Sports NFL. The Packers with a 34-13 win over the Arizona Cardinals. Green Bay opened with a run game, but Matt LaFleur says he let Jordan Love call some of the plays.
There were a lot of plays, though, that we line up, no huddle. We have a lot less moving parts. Allow Jordan the freedom to check to what he wants to, and he does a great job with that. And it sounds like I'm in his ear telling him what to call. He does a really good job with that.
The Cardinals plagued with injuries and 13 penalties for 100 yards. Head coach Jonathan Gannon
got beat pretty good by a good football team, but lost the takeaway battle 3-1, hard way to go, a lot of penalties.
Green Bay now 4-2. The Wisconsin Badgers over Rutgers 42-7 over the weekend. Badgers running back Tawee Walker rushed for 198 yards and 3 touchdowns. Head coach Luke Fickell.
Really, really, really impressive. He just continues to go and battle and work and do a great job at leading for us. And, he's not a guy that if his number wasn't called and it was the other way around, then he would be just as happy right now. And that's what's impressive about him. So we're going to continue to rely upon him just like the big guys. And if we can continue this team's going to be tough.
NBA, the Bucks host the Bulls tonight in a preseason game. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. Netflix is very close to controlling the universe. But for now, they're pushing a new talk show hosted by comedian John Mulaney. Variety reports that Netflix executives say they were impressed with Mulaney's interviews during the Netflix is a Joke comedy festival, where Mulrooney hosted a segment called Everyone's in L.A. The comedian has also had multiple stand-up specials on the network. The new talker will drop once a week and possibly in early 2025. Fans of the show The Office, whether it's the British or American version, may or may not be excited to hear there is a new iteration of the mockumentary-style comedy headed to Peacock. It's not being called a spin-off, but they are incorporating elements of the previous shows. Variety reports that on the new show, the company that filmed the daily happenings at Dunder Mifflin are filming a new office in a dying daily newspaper. The show is currently being cast. Executive producers include Greg Daniels, who oversaw The American Office, and Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant, who created the franchise. Let's be honest, Scooby-Doo's Velma was a great actor, but when it comes to carrying a show, she can only do that so far. Max has announced that it's canceling the show Velma after 2 seasons. The Scooby-Doo spinoff was considered controversial as they decided to gear the storylines toward adults for both Velma and her Mystery Inc. chums. The Office's Mindy Kaling voiced the role of Velma and was one of the executive producers. Here's one of Pete's picks. If you're looking for a great indie comedy, check out the film Chump Change for rent on YouTube. Writer-director star of the film and native Wisconsin son Steve Burrows was a guest on Nightlight last week and informed me that the film is finally available after 20 years for viewing. This hilarious comedy, which stars, in addition to Burrows, Tracy Lords, Jerry Stiller, Tim Matheson, Ann Mara, Fred Willard, and Shelley Winters. How's that for a cast? The film is set in Milwaukee, and it's a cracklin' good, or should I say, cacklin' good watch. If you liked Young Sheldon, maybe you'll like this other Big Bang Theory spinoff. Variety reports the show, which has been in development at Max for the last year, just added cast members Brian Posehn, Lauren Lapkus, and Kevin Sussman. Story details for the series are being kept under wraps, but the 3 new cast members will reprise their roles from the original Big Bang Theory. If the show is ultimately greenlit, it will be the 4th in the Big Bang franchise. Lifestyle influencer, insider trader Martha Stewart is pulling no punches in a new documentary. The film, titled Martha, covers the billionaire's rise to fame, starting with her days as a teenage model to her reality series, Snoop Dogg friendship, and her conviction for obstructing justice and lying to the government, for which she spent 5 months in prison. She has opinions on all of this. Martha will soon be available on Netflix October 30th. For more showbiz fun, tune into Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Partly to mostly cloudy today with a high in the low 50s this afternoon. The wind will be northwest at 5 to 15. Tonight, partly cloudy, frosty in the low 30s for an overnight low. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high in the low to mid 50s. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Outside now, it's 43.
The national news cycle never stops, but it can be hard to find news about your local community. Civic Media is dedicated to providing quality local and state news coverage across Wisconsin. With the Civic Media app, you can get notifications about local stories that matter to you and your community. Find the free Civic Media app in your phone's app store and choose notifications from the menu to tell us what kind of news you want to hear about.